We see Samir over there. Samir?
Hi, everybody. I don't know if my sound is audible, but I am not able to hear anything.
Can you hear us?
Ram Prabhu, can you hear?
We can hear you. Samir? He's not able to hear. Samir, can you hear us?
Yeah, very faintly I can hear you. So if you're a little louder and closer to the mic, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be loud. Am I loud enough?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hope everybody can hear me there.
Yeah, everybody is here, and they were all waiting to see your. They were all saying that where's the Dalai Lama missing here? So.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation. The flight tickets were all booked. I was all set. Wanted to meet all of you in person, but unfortunately a little bit of a health issue has kept me back. But I truly want to be with you, and it's wonderful to see all my colleagues up there, the complete presidential council, Tarun, Sumant, Swapnil, and Shiva, with Ram, Nazir, Prabhu, and the whole of team APPCC. So absolutely wonderful. I was telling somebody on the chat that it's Kamala Hassan's town, so a little bit of a silence and silent movie is acceptable, and that's where sound issues will happen. And absolutely fantastic that the post-pandemic season kicks off from Chennai.
Thank you, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's kickstart our discussion. See, we as realtors, we are always constantly looking at educating ourselves and equip ourselves better. So Tarun, about MRICS and education program of NAR, we want to hear from you.
Thank you, Ram. So most of you will be aware that last year under Sumant's leadership, we launched the first batch of the NAR India RICS Executive Learning Program. About 40 from NAR India joined that and completed that program, and now we are on the way to becoming MRICS. So what is MRICS? MRICS is a chartered member of RICS. It is a degree which is a professional degree which is recognized throughout the world for professionalism and your knowledge of real estate. But before MRICS, I would like to talk about the executive learning program which is between NAR India and RICS. RICS is world's leading body for real estate education. Based out of UK, they are based throughout the world. So we are launching the second batch. Those who do that program and complete those it is in 4 modules. Once you complete those 4 modules, then you can apply for the MRICS degree of RICS. So the first batch which have done that, we are now going for our MRICS interviews, and I think in the next month or so, we'll have about 20 MRICS 20 new MRICS professionals at NAR India. So this program has 4 modules. This will be covered. This will be covered in about 60 online webinars. So now the pandemic has also forced us to look at technology, and we realized this is a boom. This is a boon because now people from all over India can connect together. I think we had some participants from Chennai as well. Swapnil joined in from Mumbai. We had Shiva joining in from Coimbatore. We had participants from Guwahati, from Kolkata, from Bangalore, from Delhi. So all of them could join together. So these modules will be in 60 hours of training, and we are covering land due diligences and customer relationship management, real estate valuations, negotiation skills, transaction services for HNIs and NRIs, basics of construction technology. So a lot of things are being covered in this program. We have got some brochures, thanks to Prabhu. This brochure came in today morning when I was taking the flight to Chennai, and he's got some printed copies. If it is possible, can we just launch it in a minute?
Yes, we will do
and
that.
I'll request Sumant and Shiva and Swapnil and you guys to join. We can just launch this brochure. This is a physical event. I don't know how many chances we'll get at physical events to launch a brochure. So I might as well make the most of it. And since it is on Zoom, we have other NAR India members joining in, so even they can get info on this. So
I think we are privileged that way.
yeah, very quickly, if we can make the use of this platform to launch this brochure. Yeah, thank you. I'll just request everyone to join in. So guys, this is an excellent program. It was launched under Sumant's term, so it's, so I'm so happy that Sumant is there with us today to launch this. So guys, please. Swapnil? Samir, we are missing you here, but thank you very much. So guys, I'll really encourage everyone to join this program. Those who have done it, you can speak to them one-on-one. So similarly, sir, apart from this RICS program on ELP, we're coming with short training programs for our members. We did one last week with Professor Amol Shilpi. That was on negotiation skills. Another 6-7 are planned. So a lot is happening on the education front at NAR India, and more will be covered by Sumant when he talks about IIRE, because that is the education arm for NAR India. So thank you, Ram, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for, it's a privilege for us here at APPCC to see a major program being introduced and launched. Thank you, Tarun and the NAR team. So there's one person who's always looking at the recognition for Realtor. Sumant, One India, One License and its importance.
Thank you, Rambai. See, I think there's been a lot of discussion about One India, One License post the RERA Act has been enacted. Okay, I think earlier, before RERA was enacted, I think most of us were doing businesses in multiple other cities. So, for example, people from Chennai were doing business in Bangalore and Hyderabad, or people from Bangalore used to market in Hyderabad. So there was a lot of cross business that used to be exchanged, which used to generate some more revenue for us. And post RERA was enacted, they made it mandatory for us to register in every state. Now, for example, if you look at Delhi NCR region, Tarun Bhai comes from that region. So Delhi NCR region consists of 4 different states. Okay, UP, Delhi, Rajasthan, Haryana. Now, for them, actually, when they're working in one micro market, so they have to register in 4 different states. And each state, actually, the registration costs vary. Now, for example, in Hyderabad, the registration for a individual broker is 10,000 rupees. For a company, it's 50,000 rupees. If you go to Bangalore, it's 2 lakh rupees for the company and 50,000 rupees for an individual. So there's a lot of confusion along with the fee. Because people also need to understand, because they need to continuously get the transactions audited there, and to continuously update the documentation with the RERA authorities in respective states has become a challenge for a lot of people, and people are losing a lot of business. And the ones who are taking real advantage were the large companies who had their presence in multiple other cities, where they had the resource and the resources and the connect to do businesses in multiple other markets, which were actually putting us down. So having discussed about all of these challenges, we at NAR India have been working around it. Last year, during the pandemic, we had an opportunity of collaborating with CREDAI MCHI, which is from Maharashtra arm of CREDAI. So in fact, they wanted our help in doing some kind of a campaign for their needs. So wherein we had negotiated and had come to an arrangement that CREDAI would also be working on, would also be supporting us on One India, One License and 5% GST.
Oh, very good.
In fact, CREDAI included that in one of their signature campaign. Thanks to CREDAI MCHI, so CREDAI also backed us there. And we could, through Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, who is the ex-CM of Maharashtra, we could connect to Nirmala Sitharaman on this. And the signature the signature campaign was done, and also it was submitted to Nirmala Sitharaman, and she also acknowledged on Twitter. And then after that, Tarun Bhai is already working on it along with the support of Shiva. We have recently submitted why we need One India, One License. We also, they were having some concerns. I think Shiva has already addressed that with them. So we are doing a bit at NR India to ensure that, okay, the local broker or the small broker gets the advantage of doing business across the country. Because see, if you look at any licenses, okay, be it a chartered accountant license, okay, or even the motor license, if you look at any license, it's One India, One License only. But when I have taken a license, okay, from an authentic, from a government authority, why should I be stopped to market in other markets? Because see, now when a state gives me a registration in a particular to work in a particular market, that means they've given me just screened, okay, checked all my credentials. Only then they have given me the license. That means the state has agreed with me that I have the qualification, or probably I have followed some norms, okay, which would allow me to do business. But when a state has allowed me to do business, so if other states are stopping me, that's not fair, okay? So it is only giving undue advantage to the large business houses. So we have communicated this to the government, and luckily for us, Ravi sir has been there at the Central Advisory Council representing NR India. He's been talking to the concerned authorities there. I think we hope and we wish that soon or later, definitely it's going to happen, which would help us actually in building our businesses.
I think with you all in place, it will happen very faster. So here's the man who is going to be talking about Samir. What is the difference between an agent, a broker, and a realtor?
Can you hear me?
Samir, this is a question for you.
Perfect. So I heard you, and I think you are asking for a difference between a real estate agent, a realtor, a broker. I hear somebody say not audible, but before I give a response, I made a request. I think your events or tech team should be able to put both the stage and Zoom together. Then it would make sense. And I will request everybody who's on the Zoom, especially from the organizing side, APPCC Chennai and others, to mute themselves, because that crosstalk makes it impossible to hear anything. So am I audible now? Would somebody confirm?
Very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I still can't see anybody on the stage or there, but if it's possible, because it was in between and I could see Tarun talking, but I couldn't hear it then. Last few minutes, I've been thinking that this whole evening is going exactly the way it goes between me and my wife with APPCs. You know, they're talking something and I'm not hearing anything. So it's exactly what happens at my home. So you guys could have a small smile or a laugh about it.
It's all because you are not here.
Great. So coming to the difference, you know, in India, we have this habit of mixing up terminologies without understanding the technicalities behind it, for the simple reason that, you know, the patenting laws in India are not so great. So let me start by using the term that probably all of you in the auditorium and in Zoom are realtors, and you can be very, very proud of it, because realtor is a patented term. In the US terminology, a real estate agent is somebody who has a professional license to buy, rent, or sell. You know, in tomorrow's world, in today's world, it would translate to a RERA license in India. But that's it. In the US, a real estate agent is invariably associated with a broker. A broker or a broking company is somebody who has the professional license and also has some certifications which a real estate agent does not have to do business. And they can work independently or they can hire real estate agents. Whereas a realtor is a broker who is also a part of NAR Global in the US and NAR India in India. It's a patented terminology. So does anybody become a realtor? No. They go through advanced certifications, multiple trainings and courses, and above all, undergo code of conduct and code of ethics training. And that demarcates them from any other real estate professional. Sometimes the terminology in India, like a realtor, you will read a newspaper saying, this realtor ran away with that much crores of money. It's actually they're talking of a developer or a builder, which is where even the media has to be told that realtor is a patented terminology. A developer is somebody who develops apartments, plots, villas, offices, industrial warehouses, all of that. And a builder is somebody who constructs it. So all five terminologies are different, and from today, I think each one of us must take the message out and say who a realtor is, and we are proud realtors. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you heard the applause for you, Samir. We all...
That's why I don't enjoy it on Zoom, because I couldn't hear the applause. I want to see everyone clapping. So, yeah, but I'll visualize it and take it on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Swapnil, realtors' future and growth prospects in general.
Yeah, hi. So good evening again. This is a very tricky and tough question actually, but I will take it in three parts. When we talk about future, we talk about what is there in present. So just to give you a preamble or a backdrop to the real estate industry and what kind of opportunity lies here, I would say in 2017, real estate industry was about $180 billion industry, which then subsequently we thought, now it will move to about $1 trillion by 2030. And that's huge when you think about it, right? So this is the kind of opportunity which is available for all of us as realtors, as developers, in the industry. Now, also what is interesting is, this industry is contributing to close to about 7% as of now. It will eventually contributing to close to about, hello? Yeah, it will eventually contribute close to about 15-16%. So that's a lot when you see in terms of GDP the contribution of real estate as an industry. So that's the kind of contribution it will have. Plus, there are 250 ancillary, industries which depend on real estate. So, which means it generates a lot of employment as well. So, currently, real estate employs close to about 40 million, which is about 40 lakh, as employment. So, this is the backdrop, and that gives you a, idea of the opportunity that lies in the industry. Having said about this, if you think about the future now, I'll go commercial, residential, and then what are the new opportunities which are lying in the industry. So in commercial space, it's been a massive northway movement till about before pre-pandemic, right? So there has been behavioral change, and there has been a change in the way commercial has been consumed now. So I think what has happened is because of the behavioral changes, because of work from home culture coming in, kicking in now, there is less demand for commercial as of now, but I think that's momentarily, because eventually it will have to bounce back given that the kind of investments that we are expecting in this segment. Just to give you a brief numbers, in infrastructure and REITs, after REITs have been open for 100% FDI, which was done very recently, right? We are expecting close to about 29 billion. It was the investment was until now. It will double up in next 2 years. By 2022, you will have close to about $50 billion coming in REITs itself, right? So which means all this investment which comes in REITs will go into commercial space predominantly. It could be office space, or it could mostly grade A office spaces, and it could also go into warehousing space. So that's where the investment will flow. What is upcoming is data centers and warehousing. I think this is a big industry, and Shiva would resonate with my thought. And there are a lot of people who are into warehousing. You can also see a great movement in the warehousing space. Just to give you a brief, the absorption of office spaces in 2020 was predominantly by manufacturing. So the small and medium enterprises, and if you see the auto sector has consumed most of the office space, which is close to about 24%, followed by third-party logistics, which is again warehousing, close to about 34%, and e-commerce is about 26%, and retail segment probably has fallen down to 9%. So if you see the split, you will see clearly the trend which is upcoming in the commercial space. So you will see that warehousing and data centers, these are the upcoming or the sunrise sectors, right? Again, if we talk about the commercial office space absorption, you will see that office PE investments, basically, the PE investments in office space is about 71%, retail is about 15%, and residential and warehousing itself is about 7%. And in terms of absolute numbers, warehousing has attracted close to about 1,000 million. So you will see uptrend in this segments predominantly. Also, what will happen is there will be a lot of adoption of technology which will happen going forward, right? So yesterday we were on a webinar and we were explaining that you should not fight technology, rather you should embrace and adopt the technology, because it is your partner. Right? It gives you a better horizon, a broad horizon to reach your customers, and that's the only way you can probably expand. That's the only way we can expand. So I think if you really think about the future going forward, I see a lot of movement in the residential space, because close to about 20 million houses. Yeah, we are still serving that Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and 20 million houses are to be built. So in that affordable segment, if you see, typically it's a pyramid, and the base of the pyramid is the affordable segment, and on the top are those houses which are sold for 100 crores and beyond. So the base of the pyramid is where the demand is, and also the developers have started focusing on that, because they have realized the turnaround time in that segment is pretty phenomenal. So if this kind of demand is met, I think residential